Imagine we're diving right into this intense scenario, hour zero, where Xi Jinping is sitting in his office, surrounded by his most trusted advisors, feeling completely ready to make the move. He issues the United Fire Order to the Eastern Front Joint Command using a one-time code, and the concept is crystal clear: blind Taiwan's air picture, shatter the runway, fuel, radar tried, seal off the sea corridors around the strait, and throw a wrench into the US-Japanese sensor network. Because in this game, whoever goes blind in the first minute loses everything: radars, links, satellites. So, let's unpack how the hours might unfold in the Pacific. Over the last decade, China has poured nearly $1 trillion into modernizing its military from the ground up. Their nuclear arsenal has ballooned to about 600 warheads. The Navy has been overhauled not piecemeal, but in massive blocks, now measured more in tonnage than sheer numbers. It's no accident they've got one of the world's largest standing armies at 2.3 million active troops, over 700 naval vessels including 3 aircraft carriers, and a fleet loaded with missile-equipped ships. Add in state-of-the-art missile forces with hypersonic weapons, a huge maritime militia, and a coast guard that can flood the seas with paramilitary forces, all aimed at seizing the initiative in the Pacific. But before dragging the fight to America, there's a golden rule: secure the Pacific first, then force the door open. Anything else is suicide. Xi wants to reshape the West by his rules, while Trump positions himself as the global peacemaker. Let's say an unexpected invasion kicks it off, with China crossing the Taiwan Strait using newly built landing ships and overwhelming missile barrages. Could the US stop it? Not easily, but looking at the map, the US's cards are laid out plain. They've got around 190 facilities in Japan and South Korea, with Guam, Hawaii, the Philippines, India, and Australia acting as Xi's geographical nightmare. The US boasts 1.3 million highly trained active personnel, plus reserves, superior tech like the world's only operational 5th-generation stealth bombers, the B-2 Spirit and soon the B-21 Raider, 11 aircraft carriers as force projection jewels, thousands of aircraft including the unmatched F-22 Raptor and hundreds of stealth F-35s, plus top-tier logistics and air transport. Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, Guam, Hawaii, all weave into a tight network. The opposing navy might be smaller in count, but its punch is way heavier. So the moves aren't rushed. First targets are straits and radars, balancing sensors and fuel. The attack doesn't start with missiles. It kicks off with screens. China launches electromagnetic suppression as the code word go transmits. Strategic support forces jam GNSS around Taiwan, delaying uplinks and clogging data in mixed civilian-military networks. Port software, rail systems, energy SCADI, all hit with stress tests at once. It's a huge gamble for Xi, disrupting the US response tempo without crossing red lines. If it works, temporary blindness for the first wave. If not, tough luck. But the risk is on today. Meanwhile, in Trump's Washington office, the vibe's different. A bold file says, "The first hour is the hour of the network. ACE activates tankers, AGO-AC F-35 and F-22 cells dispersed to runways. Aegis ships get engagement freedom. THAAD in Guam and PAC-3 MSE in Japan go high alert. There's an option for counter battery on coastal radars day one. Aggressive, sure, but delay means higher costs. Trump knows, is it seeing or enduring that decides. In the first 5 minutes, DF-15 and DF-16 salvos might fly, targeting Taiwan's runways, fuel depots, radars. DF-21 and cruise missiles hit Okinawa lines. H-6K bombers drop CJ-10 and YJ-12 from inland, returning under radar cover. Surface elements stay in cruise missile range south. First wave 20 minutes. US sensors detect in minute 1 satellite spot infrared. Aegis fires SM-3 and SM-6 against ballistics and cruises. Japan and Guam layer tide and PAC-3. Sequential firings boost hits, some missiles down, some splash, some strike. Runways crater, fuels ignite, radar shatter, Okinawa hurts. Repair teams scramble. If Kadena tankers burn, US range shrinks. Exactly what Xi craves, a rough start for Trump. But the plan's always been no perfect shield, just 100% delay. Every minute matters as US, Japan disperses agile combat employment. F-35s use highways, secondary strips. EDS sites activate in Japan, Philippines. Fuel ammo trucks move in cells with independent networks, resilient even if jammed. Planes launch amid repairs, aiming for air superiority. The rhythm Trump demands: disperse, survive, counter. First 2 hours grind like that. By hour 3, airspace becomes a chessboard. Serious air battles erupt. China seeks superiority over Strait and Bashi with J-20, J-16, J-10, J-11 fill gaps. Refueling's risky, tankers vulnerable. J-20 threads Adal-SS tankers with long-range missiles. J-16 hits repair crews' defenses. Taiwan relocates Skybow Patriots, radars intermittent. US deploys F-35B to tempt sites in Okinawa, Kyushu, Philippines. F-22s from Japan mains. F-50-16 mid-altitude patrol. Aegis shares air picture. Updating joint tactical view for counterattack. Not absolute dominance for sea or suppression for Trump, but local, temporary superiority. Sea's choice, hunt tankers AWACS or naval pressure on Bashi before sea closes. Both tempt but overcommit risks mass loss. Trump flips to tell hunting, hit mobile launchers to break tempo. NQ-9's special aircraft, teams track strike windows, smart not rushed. US preps deep strike in 3-6 hours. B-52 key B-1 refuel chains. First munitions JASSMERLRASM on coastal radars, command centers, OTH radars. Tomahawk window opens. Virginia subs position east of first chain, some close coast, some offshore. Tomahawks target radar centers. Batteries relocate. Fakes up. Cat, mouse sets rhythm. At sea, Typhoon launchers reposition SM-6 to Tomahawk flexible. US jams before land. Sea hates it. Inward steps cost more. China deploys DF-21D-26 anti-ship ballistics to scare carriers. U.S. carriers hug second chain, East Philippine Sea dynamic. Aegis screens by SM-6 range. ESM's passives fake targets. Jammers deploy false RCS, disrupt terminal guidance. Some deceived, hit splash. Carriers long, range off. Show strength Trump style. F-35 CFA, 18 create 1,000 dumbfire window with refueling. Prioritize C8 D8 before shore. Marine Zebu across islands light. Fast, set strike, relocate NSM batteries via EDCM honor straits. Luzon, Bashi narrow. In 12-24 hours, Taiwan maritime clears 3 past Doctrine Miyako, Bashi Malacca. NSM envelopes Ryukyu Luzon. Philippine Sea tightens with LSM. Virginia's watch deep exits. Japanese North, Australia South. Carriers frame, strikes underwater. If China amps amphibious, risky window. Ships big targets need air missile cover. J-50-16 cover flight, sub-defense priority. Sub-silent. US Scud Japan P-8 drop buoys complicate nav. Surface LRS from harpoon weight, crossing costly. Underwater shadows unsettle. Amphib column hugs coast, shifts blockade. Psy accepts reluctantly full mast too risky. WAM sparse pressure, THA-80s Aegis down some others crater runways. Repairs race, tankers disperse. Command underground, tough, manageable not for Trump. Cycle holds if not doesn't break. Rapid Dragon off-shelf MC-130J pallets ready JASM packages. Trump loves saturation, forces choice. Unpleasant first calculations clash tomorrow. Day one end amphib appetite fades. China blockades, cuts supplies. Taiwan threatens with kamikaze drones, coastal missiles. US reinforces NSM Tomahawk, no straight passages. Cyber intensifies probe C2 networks. Satellite blinding jamming up, kinetic AST delayed. Debris hurts both. Lasers dazzle uplinks intercept data jam. US backups. Commercial constellations comms imaging. China protects too. Terrestrial microwaves activate. Centers shift. Tunnels underground heavy. Disrupts air picture. Risks air combat. Both avoid offshore ventures. 24-48 hour strategic deployments evident. Guam Fortress Magnet, DF-26 pressure. THA Aegis defend. Rapid Dragon reappears, pods drop. JSM rain straight. Some hit ships overwhelm. Chinese bases slow Longshan. Jianghua Huina 24/7. Size eastward fist grabbed. US shifts bountered Hawaii secondary. Psy might salvo Hawaii limited. DF-27 Cyber EW sat pressure. Targets? Pearl, Hickam runways, fuel, Kauai sensors, port non-crits. Forced defense mode. Risky raises threshold, consolidates allies. If works, bomber tempo slows. If not, bad. US detects Aegis BMD picket Hawaii. SPY 6 separates M3 mid, SM6 terminal. Hawaii damage triggers heavy response, provocative, likely avoided. Alaska backup north. Australia Cord Tyndall north runways tanker bomber shelters. Complicates Xi's plan. Warheads deplete faster. China closes with land-sea cruises. Gen 3 long USEW false targets mitigate. 4872 hours Pacific encirclement talks, not circle, corridor control. Fleet locks Miyako, Bashi, Malacca, maybe Sunda, Lombok, subs, patrols, coastal anti-ship triangle. Luzon, Ryukyu, sealed MSS NSM. Air LRSM tightens Philippine patrols. Virginia's Los Angeles monitor exits Japan North, Australia South. Carries multipliers, space-air-sea superiority. Strikes subs land batteries. China responds intensify ASDOZ, twin fixed, wing cycle. Naval militia Coast Guard, gray zone pressure. Hundreds boats expand line. Strategic noise keeps military occupied. U.S. Sky allies strict RAWI, civilian military distinction key, exhausting. Day 3 end air not ideal. China no complete superiority, U.S. no suppression, local temporary. Protect sensors Agava, CS tankers far, passive ops, LPI preferred, medium range effective. Combat short, ground air threat high. Said localized some radar silenced, relocated, destroyed. Days 4-5 systematic ground campaign. U.S. Tel Hunter. F3 FIF MQ9 special teams track modes low seg passive. JSSME RKTCM's Windows. Japan strikes legal political approved expands LC air. Pressure ports logistics, avoid cities, escalation control. Logistics pulse warehouse fire equals bombardment. China civilian ports military. U.S. cyber targets automation cranes rails slow ammo. Taiwan perimeter restricted. Chinese subs east, P8 complicate. Mines coast possible, hunters workload up, US EODEM CM deploy, slow vital, mines challenge amphib. China phased airborne small landings, tactical pick, can't hold, drones fill artillery windows, missiles wait. Day 6-7 economic warfare center. Insurance on prices Pacific routes, tankers decline, freight spike Malacca Taiwan, China energy pressured, US escalates diplomatic. India neutral, patrols up. Singapore, Malaysia maritime security. Australian logistics bridge. South Korea balanced politics, North threat. North escalates, diverts US, Japan. China knows. Seeks Russia econ cyber. Russia-Europe tensions divert US. Pacific focus limits. Nuclear threshold invisible. US 1800 deployed warheads. China 600 growing. Destruction mutual. Use? Probably not. Endgame. Retaliation capable. Sub-missiles insurance. Day 1 no. Deterrence language demos tests messages. Tactical red line, escalate strategic pressures global. China losing hesitates, victory ashes meaningless. Risky miscock. Beijing thinks decap, or US sees Pacific cross spiral. Fight avoids nukes, final card ends game, war nuclear, almost no. China win East Asia, maybe long war US global advantages, but China backyard home field, industrial attrition ready. No single winner first week. China proximity, US subs allies. China missiles pressure, U.S. distributed precision. Prolongs China industry U.S. techs alliances, outcome who prolongs withstands econ. Taiwan holds, China cost prohibitive. Carrier shape framework not decide. Scenario not random, inventories geography dictate. First hours intense fire, scattered defense. Taiwan key. Pacific strategically, U.S. alliances, China pride symbolically, non-negotiable. Allies huge Japan, South Korea fronts, willingness holds U.S. Asia position. Diplomacy prevent, yes, not inevitable. Window closing as China strengthens. Thanks for watching, folks. This is just a hypothetical, but it makes you think about the stakes in the Pacific.